It's good, homies. We are live from sunny South Central Los Angeles, California. I'm Mark, and I'm a recovering codependent narcissist. I started a new 6-week self guided meditation that focuses on healing my inner child. Um, these self guided meditations are really great because they reprogram your brain, they're laying new tracks on your subconscious programming. So things that you aren't even aware of, how to fix. A lot of this meditation, the self-guided meditation really helps with at least beginning. It doesn't do all the work, though it does a lot of great shit. I'm not gonna lie. So I started this new one by Louise Hay, who I really like. And part of the meditation focuses on forgiveness. And I was like, what the fuck is forgiveness really? Like that seems such like a easy term or concept, but it gets used a lot by new agey spiritual people. But what really is forgiveness? Forgiveness is simply the letting go of blame or resentment toward anybody who has hurt, offended, or slighted you in the past, and that includes ourselves. Whoa. Fuck, man. Like another whole word that I never really understood, let alone like got it as a concept, and realizing how far I am from beginning to just integrate this word fully. As long as I'm living from my ego about who I am, I'm always going to be subject to being hurt. Sooner or later, someone's going to do or say something that's going to offend me. And then I will live with the feeling of being hurt or angry or whatevs. And many people, will nurse this hurt feeling or this angry feeling for hours, days, weeks, months, dude, probably years even. Generations, I mean, come on. But once I have awareness around this this idea of forgiveness, and I have awareness that really what I'm trying to do is to grow myself personally and spiritually. I realized at some point that holding on to anger or feelings of being hurt, it doesn't hurt the other person. It really just affects me. I understand what that that Buddhist saying is when you're holding on to a hot coal and it's really burning you. It's not burning the other person. I'm terrible at quotes. I butchered that one. Good. But yeah, having the awareness now that holding on to this anger, holding on to my suffering actually causes me to suffer more. And one of the keys to love and forgiveness is realizing the people who hurt you are only acting out of their own belief systems, and they're acting out of their own stories of need and suffering. Forgiveness is something much more delicate a concept than I had previously thought. I see it as a deep spiritual practice now, because I can see that living with anger and hatred really affects me. I'm the one who's suffering. So out of compassion for myself, to rid myself of suffering, a good place to start forgiving is, a good place to start forgiving others is to start by forgiving myself. And that this is the very essence of love. Forgiveness is at the very essence of spiritual practice. To open my heart and to tap into true compassion, so I can feel energetically that oneness, that non-separation with every other human being and every living thing. And the more I feel that, the more I extend love and forgiveness outwards, and the more my actions, are more heart-centered. The more my actions are governed by qualities such as empathy, kindness, affection, tenderness, compassion, forgiveness, generosity, gratitude, and courage. The more our hearts open. And in doing so, in leading this heart-centered approach to life, we can do a lot of amazing things. Humans, I believe, collectively, with just something like forgiveness, we can right the wrongs of a lot of war and violence that has really been the history of the human race. And to do this, we must, as a group consciousness, learn to forgive. I mean, that's how big forgiveness is that only now am I coming to the realization that with forgiveness, human beings can end the wrongs of war and violence. I mean, whoa, come on, homies, that's so amazing. I thought forgiveness was just this easy thing, but I'm realizing with great enthusiasm, what a powerful concept this is. And once you integrate this into your life, whoa, come on, it's going to be so awesome. I see forgiveness now as really being paramount to love. Forgiveness is the ultimate spiritual practice, because forgiveness in all its difficulty and discomfort lays bare the depth of hurt, injustice, and intolerance that otherwise really goes unchecked in society. You just love because you love, plain and simple. That's what we have to do. Just love because that's who we are at our core, plain and simple. And how others react or respond to love is really up to them. Those people's hearts who are sufficiently open and whose level of trust are deep enough will accept the love that I'm sharing. They will appreciate it and they will reciprocate it. But those whose hearts are closed will not be able to receive the gift of love that I'm sharing or other people share. But that's okay, because only now am I learning and integrating that in true love there are no conditions. And all I have to do is keep spreading love, and that, maybe there will be ready the next time I'm around, or the next person that I'm heart-centered with, they'll be able to accept the love that I'm sharing. And that's pretty awesome. I mean, that's really awesome. Forgiveness has been around, JC, Jesus, big into forgiveness. But somebody more contemporary is Martin Luther King. I found, in his Christmas sermon of 1957, he discusses forgiveness. And Martin Luther King says, I quote, "He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love." Whoa. King said, "The work of forgiving," he said, "begins within. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us," King argued. "When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. Forgiveness allows us to open a new chapter, not only in our lives, but in society at large. In the face of hurt and wrongdoing," King said, "we all have a choice to make." Seems pretty simple, seems straightforward. It's integrating it is the difficult part. And I hope to be able to share my experience with learning to integrate forgiveness. And I started in this meditation. I started in going into a river. Metaphor, water is very cleansing in these altered states, dream states, meditation states. So I saw myself just in the river and was just washing myself clean from all of these perceived hurts that I had been dealing with. And I just let that shit go, homie. I just let it go and forgave the people, and it felt really good. And when it feels good, it means I know that I'm on the right path, because I'm learning how to feel more, suckers. Shut up your mind and feel it through your heart. I mean, that is really what I'm working on. So thank you for letting me share. Thank you for letting me be of service. I appreciate y'all.